Welcome to RPG Elite, where we put the RP back into RPG, giving you tools and tips on how to make your RPG experience more immersive and enjoyable. If this is your first time coming to the channel, I want to welcome you. I am Servant of Shiloh, and for all of you who are returning, what is up, my fellow peeps? In this video, we are going to focus on something I haven't focused on in a while. Now, if this is your first time coming to the channel, there's three things that we focus on. I have a video on that. You can go right here. Okay. You can go right there and click on that video to let you know what we focus on, or you can stay right here. I can give it to you in the cliff notes, right? So we focus on alternative genre RPGs such as science fantasy, science fiction, apocalyptic, all these other kinds, superhero, what's up, and what up, right? So we focus on those genres of RPGs, and we also focus on classic RPGs. Now, classic RPGs are those that are 20 years or older. We put that in the classic category just to expose everybody to other kinds of RPGs. There's more than one RPG out there, folks. There really is. And there's some good ones from the past. Just because something is new doesn't necessarily mean it's all that great, right? We've seen this before, right? And also we focus on RPG elite philosophy, which is what we're going to focus on today. Now, there is another video that I made with the 9 qualities of an RPG elite right here, okay? And that video is foundational to why this channel exists. And we went through those 9 qualities in a basic overview. Now, I haven't gotten a chance to get back to those, and I really wanted to get back to those. And so today, we're going to go through one of those with the subpoints of that particular quality. So I'm going to go through one. As we go through this, I'm going to go through 1 through 9, and I'm going to give you all the subpoints of why an RPG elite would have that particular quality. So we're going to start with number 1 today. And the number 1 RPG elite quality that we put in that list was that RPG elites don't play RPGs 7 days a week. Now, this probably might be a given for a lot of you people, but RPGs being what they are, and I have seen this time and time again. It's one that we get the easy ones out of the way first, right? So we put them at the top of the list. Now, I got my handy dandy note sheet here, so I'm going to be reading off of this because there's 3 subpoints as to why we have this quality. Now, the number 1 reason why RPG elites don't play RPGs 7 days a week is because, well, we have a life outside of playing RPGs. I mean, we have other things and other responsibilities, right? So we have jobs, we have wives and children, or other family that we need to pay attention to. We have goals and ambition and other things that we're doing. And so the amount of time that it takes, number 1, to invest in an RPG, you know, when you're sitting down and doing a session, what? They're going 2-3 hours. For us back in the day, they were like 6 hours. For mine, which I do bi-weekly, they're 4-hour slots. Same time every Saturday, every other Saturday from 12 to 4. So we have 4-hour slots that we play every other week, right? But there's other things that all of us do. We got jobs and all the rest of that stuff. So we have a life outside of it. There was one time, I kid you not on this, okay? It's one time we're doing an interview for one of our slots. We had some slots open in our campaign. So me and some of my longtime players, we interview people to fill those slots. And I have them come in because they're the ones that are going to play with them. So they come in, and there was one guy, he came in and he was, you know, we're getting the interview going, asking him some questions and things like that. And we start asking him about his background in RPGs and things like that. And this is what he says. I kid you not. God is my witness and my players are my witness. So he starts talking to us. He says, well, you know, right now I'm in 17 RPGs. I did not stutter. 17. I don't even understand. That doesn't even compute in my mind. And he said that like, you know, like he was proud of that. He was like, yo, what you got on me? I got 17. What? And I was tripping. 17 RPGs. He said every week. Now, some of those were play by post. But let's say, for example, that half of those are play by post, right? So that would mean like 8 of them are play by post. So let's give him that extra one. Let's give him 9 that are play by post. Number one, that's just a lot of play by post. That takes a long amount of time to put together post, write them out, you know, and do it well, right? Even if you're doing short ones, I mean, you're doing 9 of them, okay? So that means that the other 8 times he's in an actual session. Now let's take a look at this for a second and let's do the math. So if we're running an average, let's say we're running an average of 3 hours per session and he's running 8 of them. That's a part-time job. That is 24 hours a week just playing RPGs. I haven't even added in the time that he does the post, right? We're just talking about sessions. 17. All right, folks. Something's wrong with that. Something's wrong with that. I'm going to get to that in a second. But that's not having a life. And most of us who are playing RPGs have a life, other things that we're doing. So that's one. But number two, and this goes to our whole experience with RPGs. Number two, we want to savor the RPG experience. We want to savor the RPG experience. So what does that mean? Well, that means that we don't want it to get stale. And that's something that can happen if you're playing, you know, RPGs all of the time. It gets stale after a while. And I'm just talking about playing RPGs in general. I'm not talking about playing a specific RPG, even though that would be stale, but I'm talking about playing RPGs in general. This is something that we want to savor. When we play RPGs, we want that experience to be something that's special. It loses that quality if you're playing over and over and over and over again, and it just becomes, you know, laissez-faire and normative. All right. We want it to be special. We slot out the special time during the month, you know, and we do this because we want every session to be special. We want to be immersed. We want to have a good time. So we want to savor the RPG experience. So that's number two. But number three is we want RPGs to be our escape, not our reality. We want our RPGs to be an escape, not our reality. And when you're playing 7 days a week, all of a sudden it becomes too much a part of our reality than an escape. And we know this is disturbing, right? I mean, 17 games is disturbing. It's disturbing because it signals that either that individual does not know how to deal with actual real life, right? And is trying to make that their real life, their reality. Or there's something else going on. But one thing is for sure, playing 7 days a week, that's not right. There's something wrong with that, folks. There's something wrong with that. Even if, because I've heard of this before, even if it's like, oh, well, they're physically impaired, they can't do this and that. But listen to me very carefully. If you can get on the internet and play a game 7 days a week, or if you can even get together with people, then you can do something else. And don't you think you could do something a little bit more productive than playing role-playing games 7 days a week? There's something disturbing about that. You want to savor the experience. So there's a reason why we don't play 7 days a week. We're not just saying this stuff just to say it. There's a reason behind the quality, the 3 subpoints. Number one, we have a life outside of playing role-playing games. Number two, we want to savor our RPG experience. And number three, we want our RPGs to be an escape for us, not our reality. You know, keep that fine line there, you know, because, you know, some of these people, they be tripping when they be playing these RPGs. Just a little bit much. All right. So there it is, the subpoints and a deep dive into some RPG philosophy, or specifically RPG elite philosophy, and why we adhere to these things and why these qualities are very important to us. I hope that helps. Hey, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think that there's a problem playing RPG 7 days a week? Or do you think that that's just a fine thing? Let me know. Hit me up in the comments below. I'm really interested to hear what you guys think about this. So, until next time, folks, happy gaming.